You can start.
Okay, this is number 3. The repression of the relationship between Anna and Dmitri is a reflection of the repression that literature suffered at the time Anton lived. What can you say about that?
I think that that's true because as Russia were in Russia in that period of time was the Russian Revolution.
Yeah.
And in that period of time also Russia was a poor country. I think that the government was trying to hide some things, same as what happened in Chile, in the dictatorship
Yeah.
in Pablo Neruda.
I can see your point, but I don't agree at all with you because in spite of Russia was dealing with social problems, the author by then published a lot of titles, so I really think it wasn't a hidden art he was doing, because if it was a kind of hidden literature, it hadn't been that famous or recognized he was that years.
First of all, I think that the book, it doesn't have any relation with the context or the author's personal life, because it's just a simple story about two lovers, and in that time
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he was just trying to write a story, but he wasn't really willing to represent the recession by then, as Daniel said.
there is no repression in the government, because there was very famous author at the time, so he didn't have like a limit to write something,
I think in spite of it was a short story or a story without a significant meaning, I think that it has repression.
Now I agree with you,
Why? Can you explain?
because maybe he could publish a lot of titles, but the author wasn't really free at the moment he was writing. That's maybe why the plot of the book is not very elaborated.
Yeah.
It's just very simple, and the author used to use a lot of poetic vocabulary and to describe feelings,
Yeah.
but the plot is not like just a very word. How can I say it? It's not a
Meaningful story?
yeah. It's not very meaningful. It's just like a unusual story.
Yeah,
A
and
couple.
also it hasn't a great end.
Yeah.
The end is concluded. What do you think about it?
but he has so many books. That's
Yeah.
it. So I think that there is no repression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see your point.
he studied medicine, but for help his family, he started to writing. So that's why he wrote so many books to help his family. It was like a hobby. That's why he said, medicine is my wife and literature is my lover. He said that.
You're right, but in all of those books he published, and there is no close ending.
Yeah, no.
They are all related to the same kind of story, just simple stories.
Yeah,
So-
but Mike has got a point, and it is that this author, Anton Chekhov, all the short stories that he has are almost the same. Are short stories and without a great ending, just with beautiful words and how to express. He knows how to express feelings.
And I
But
think that
and all that, but I think it's more of the same.
Yeah.
I think that it doesn't have any relation with the story about Anna and Dimitri. I think that is not, he didn't want to represent the repression in that story about two lovers. I think that
Yeah.
it doesn't have any relation.
I think the same, but maybe the author didn't feel didn't want to represent the recession, but he was influenced by it, because he couldn't. Maybe he was willing to write a story about, I don't know, repression, recession, but he wasn't able to do it because by then he was going to be condemned. So from there, we all agree that the story doesn't have any relation with those ages, but maybe he was a bit influenced by the recession. But we are just supposing, because it's not clear.
Yeah, but I still think that there's a bit, at least, of regression. And I say that because I think that he was trying to, all the authors tried to say something with their books, and this author didn't wrote an ending. So why he didn't write an ending for a story? Because there was someone in the government that maybe he was trying to say something about against the government or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. Frankly, I haven't thought about it. It makes sense. Maybe that's why he didn't write any great ending, because maybe it was about writing uncompleted stories.
I still think that he doesn't have
Relation?
no. How do you say when you don't end the story? When you don't have an amazing ending? I think that he just write that kind of books because he needs the money to help his family. So I think that's why he didn't wrote an amazing story or
Yeah,
he
I can
just
see your
wrote.
point, but I don't think that money has to
That's what I read.
be active, because writers in general doesn't work for money.
But it was just a hobby.
Yeah, just for hobby, but not for money. And same as I said before, and this in that period of time, Russia was in the Russian Revolution, so I think the government was trying to put a
Limit
stop, put a limit in the
yeah.
literature, maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's all related. The style of the author, maybe the reason why he wrote, maybe it was money. I'm not very sure because in that ages there were economic problems, economic issues. So it makes sense that he was writing by then because he needed money.
His father didn't have a job, so that's why he started to just study medicine and writing
So
books.
he was willing to gain money.
Yeah,
So that's an conclusion.
that's it.
Thank you very much.